Yeah, okay.
Jagannath?
Haraprasad Sajeev.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from Atma or consciousness, is there anything else you can give example of Sat?
So, good question. See, actually speaking, if I were to be able to give you an example of Sat,
There will be two.
then I'm actually fooling you, because Sat Ekam Sat, that which just doesn't change is Sat. And if I gave you an example, that example has to be Mithya only. It can't be Sat. Because anything I say and you say, I appreciate it, I know it. I know phone, tree, house, everything. I know this also. So really speaking, an example for Sat cannot be given. We can only, fortunately, this Sat is not something sitting somewhere in heaven that you have to go and see it. Fortunately, if everything is Mithya and Satyam is what sustains that Mithya, then Sat must be there in every object. And fortunately, what about me if you ask? Am I Mithya or what? Yeah, the body is Mithya, etc. Then who am I? You are Atma and you are Sat. Fortunately, this answer we get from the Shastram. Therefore, if at all we can give an example, I will say you. You are Sat. Which will at least make you inquire what this you is, what this I is. Who am I? That inquiry at least will come. Because currently I think of myself as some conglomeration. Karya Karana Sanghata. Body, mind, sense complex. That's my idea of myself. But now I also have a better idea of myself. And so I can begin to appreciate Atma, which survives all these things, which cannot be destroyed. Now, having said that, I can say space is a very good example of, a good way to appreciate Sat. Space, Akasha. Why? Space. The fact that we say space, it means my idea of distance is there, and wherever I see there is space, correct? As far as the eyes can see, there is space. Even this little vessel in which I am cooking has space. The vessel itself is in space. So I can appreciate space. And space is an excellent example to appreciate the expansiveness. Correct? Expansiveness. No object is big. Even the largest planet, Jupiter, is so small in space. And I saw this Google perspective video, and my God, it's so amazing it is. He just takes you from the small local body, and the camera keeps going up and going up, and you can see that this body is just a speck. What body is a speck? Earth is a speck. Jupiter is a speck. The solar system is a speck. Anything you say is a speck. So the space is an amazing example for us to appreciate this all-pervasiveness. And so then as we appreciate Sat, that the Sat has to be all-pervasive, also we can appreciate with this example of Akasha. Okay? So Hope that helps somewhat, Haraprasad.
Yeah. But both time and space are objects.
Correct. You got it. Time and space are kalpita. Kalpita. It's a projection of the human mind. It is such a projection that I don't even know I project. And so I take it literally. That's correct.
Okay.
Because the setup is like that. The setup is all given. It's all setup is there. Ripe for me to make a projection. You can't not make a projection. Okay? Correct. So that's right. Space is also an object of my perception. Correct.
Thank you.
Sajeev.
Yeah, Namaste, Jaykumarji. I think you may have probably answered part of my question here. I was having a question on this kalpita, projection. So projection is, so I can only project things that I know, right? I cannot project on things that I don't know. For example, if I'm seeing something for the first time, how am I seeing the same thing as somebody who knows the thing is seeing? Like, so I'm trying to understand that. Like, if I did not know anything, how can I even project something on some things that I see?
Correct. 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 So I'm reminded of this old movie. So some Africa movie. So long ago, 20, 30, 40 years ago, I think.
Yeah, gods must be crazy.
Gods must be crazy. Correct. So he's, because I think a bottle, Coke bottle or something, right?
Coke bottle, yes.
Coke bottle. So this guy looks at this object and he doesn't know what to make out of it. What can this object be? I've seen so many things. I've seen all wild animals. I can deal with wild animals. Like everything I've done. This thing is what? Can't make out. Can't make out. And just, you can't even imagine. See, the guy who manufactured the bottle had a purpose in mind and it should contain some particular drink. Everything is there. The people who use it daily basis, they also know. But this guy, who is also our own brother and sister, okay, no different, same planet Earth, and the guy can't make out. Yeah. So, but one thing is there. He looks at this as an object. What he's saying is, I don't know what this object is. I have no idea what is the function. Every object has a function. I don't know what this object possibly can do. I don't know where this object came from. See, look at his questions. His questions are, these are the type of questions. Where did it come from? Did it grow on a tree or what? How come I've not seen that tree? I want to see that tree. But then still it doesn't look like it. Has a doubt. It can't be a natural object. It seems to be something different. This is what puts him on a trip. Crazy, makes him crazy. Because he's asking fundamental questions now. And so that person doesn't know the attributes. He doesn't know the function. Remember, we said form and function. Correct? Form and function. These are the only two things we can project on any object. Form, nama, rupa. Rupa, nama means function. Form and function. I can give a name to it called bottle, and I can appreciate all the functions it can do. Those two things are the only things that I can project. So this guy starts with very limited projection. Limited projection. Limited projection. The fact that it's an object that is independent from me and everything else itself is a projection. Okay? Because that's not Tattvam. That's not the reality. Because if you to go back to reality, Sat. When I look at that bottle, when the person looks at the bottle, he doesn't appreciate Sat. Therefore, right there is a projection. Mithya is taken as Satyam. Projection number 1. That is given, Mithya. Now, everything else falls under what type of Mithya it is. What can this Mithya be? What is the function of this Mithya? What can it do? How can it be put to use? Once I put it to use, is it reliable? These days we can ask the question, is it organic? Is it recyclable? More questions. See, look at that. Sophisticated society means more questions. More questions. Old set of questions plus a new set of questions. Is it biodegradable? If it is not biodegradable, I don't want to buy it. Very good. I am very happy people are getting knowledgeable about all this. Very important. Because you look at all this, the oceans are all filled up with plastic debris. My God, it is so sad. We have to urgently stop all this plastic. Thankfully, in Tamil Nadu, they have a, at least a law is there that you can't sell plastic bags and all that. Stores cannot sell. And many stores, many people I see, they are bringing their own bags. And I think under the desk, he has a few plastic bags because just in case somebody wants to buy pomegranate for 500 rupees, you don't say, where did you not get your bag? Don't you know the law of Tamil Nadu and this and that? He won't argue like that. 500 rupees pomegranate sale, great sale ho gaya. So, but I'm glad that awareness is there. But to answer your question, projection is always there, but how much I project on it keeps changing. So, but you have no choice but to project. That is why when I see an object outside my door and it's twilight, where it is neither dark nor bright, just bright enough to see that object, but not bright enough to see what object it is. No clarity is there. And I see a long winding object. What will I do?
Snake.
I seen an object because there is enough light to see the object, but I don't know what Ajnanam is there. When Ajnanam is there and there is an object, I must make something out of it. Therefore, this fear and all this works on myself and I project a snake on it. I project. Pakka projection. Just there is no snake. I am the creator. I am the creator of the snake. Now I can say, yes, a few hours ago I created a snake. You can say. You thought only God is the creator of snake? No. Even I am the creator of the snake. You can quiz the children on this topic. How to create a snake. Like that you can have a session. Good. So hope that helps somewhat, Sanjeev.
Yes, Jagmarji. One follow-up question you need not answer today, but I'm just a follow-up question. So for us to project something, the thing has to be there before we project, or even the thing is being projected by us. Like meaning, does anything need to exist before I project something on it, or the fact that the thing is there itself is a projection of my mind? Like meaning. Is it something that is imagined? I don't know if I'm asking the right way, but
I had a related question to that. So I was in fact going to ask that. So in a dream, for example, we project objects, but on something which is not really there.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Good questions. Very good questions. So we'll answer it ourselves. So, Sajeev, your question is something must be there to project or not? See, we'll take an example. The sun I see the sun revolving around me, around the earth. Okay. Now, just an example here. It's not about the sun itself, but about the motion we're talking about. If I take the sun to be revolving around the earth, then I am projecting my perception on the reality. Perception is the sun is revolving around the earth. That's a perception. Nobody can deny that perception. That's how perception is. But if I say in reality the earth is stationary and sun revolves around the earth, then I am projecting my idea of what I think is real on something that is not the case. Okay. Then somebody has to come from outside and say, this is not the truth, my dear. Even though you perceive, I will explain to you why the earth is revolving around the sun, and why, even if the earth is revolving around the sun, it will appear to you as though the sun is revolving around the earth. Okay? So somebody gives me that kind of a lecture, and now I'm enlightened about the fact. And now I look at the same thing, same scene, same object, same observer. And now what? I don't make that mistake anymore. That mistake doesn't happen at all. I may say the sun rises at 6:10 in the morning, 6:12 in the morning, but just because I say it doesn't mean I don't know the reality. Okay? Reality. Okay. So it is possible to have the same perceptions and not know the truth, or it is possible to have the same perceptions and know the truth. Understanding the truth does not change any perception. Okay? Doesn't change any perception. Bottle continues to be bottle even after Vedanta. And water remains water, table remains table, everything remains exactly as it is. But just like this, the sun's revolution continues, or earth's revolution continues, perception continues. Nothing changes even after the person has studied physics. Correct? Nothing changes. But the vision is completely different. Vision is completely different. Correct? I see a mirage and I run after it. There is water. Especially water shortage in summer in India, and run after it. Then, thanks to being enlightened about this phenomenon, I look at it and say, no, there is really no water there. Don't go. There's no point going after that. So, perception continues to be, but truth is understood. Okay?
Thank you.
So, we will keep that. Now, the question about dream. I am projecting my dream on nothing. Well, that's a wrong statement. You are projecting the dream on, there is so much there. There are memories. The whole, you are sitting there and the entire consciousness is there. The material is very much there. And on that material only I am projecting. So that mountain that you dream about, what is the content of that mountain?
Mind material.
Mind material. It's the content of that mountain. It is not contentless. Correct. Your question is correct, valid. Without anything, you can't project. So that is correct. But in the dream, there is material on which I can project. And that material is very much there. Chit is very much there. And that chit takes on a form of a mountain, a form of a house, a form of my own form, a copy of myself. I have an idea about myself. That idea I project. Whatever idea I have, physical idea is there, physical projection is there. And whatever idea I have, I can project. In fact, why go to dream? I'll ask you the question. Hey, are you looking at this? Yeah, I'm looking at it. What is this? It's a telephone. Where do you see the telephone?
In my mind. In the mind.
In your mind? Yeah. Oh, in your mind, how did you project the telephone? On what did you project on your mind?
Yeah.
Same thing. Dream also is the same thing. Here you need to see a telephone in order to project the telephone. In the dream, arey wow, what great dream it is. Without anybody showing the phone to me, I can project the phone. That's amazing. Same thing. Same thing. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So it's 7:55.
I was amazed just you used that Katele Porane in Vedanta.
Ah,
It was such a good and good olden days, you know. It's every minute uttered word when the naughty children, especially boys, running around.
yeah. I think this I heard first time in my village only, where I was born in Kumbakonam. And there only they used to say it. My mother used to say it, but maybe not that often. So you're right. So in the villages, they used to say it.
Yeah.
So it's mind-boggling. It is really the way they have.
Really.
Same you have also used without knowing.
Jaykumar, couple of questions. Are we having a class on Tuesday?
Yeah, you can pause this. You can stop. Yeah.
Yeah.